Listen up, everyone, pay attention. John, Peter, Yenny, and Amber, 4 people, shared the cost of a present equally. Peter did not bring enough money and only managed to pay half of his share. Only John and Yenny helped to pay for the rest of Peter's share. The ratio of the amount of money John paid to the amount of money Yenny paid was 3:4. The next day, Peter returned $24 to Yenny. How much did the present cost? So let's do it step. There's so much information in this kind of question, right? Do not be too worried. You will, in PSLE, you're going to encounter question with lots of words. The truth is this, okay? You may think that problem sum with lots of words are very difficult to do. The truth is, problem sum with lots of words are easier than problem sums with a few words. Because problem sum with lots of words means they provide you a lot of information to solve. The really difficult problem sums are those with 4 or 5 marks question, and then they're like 2 sentences only. The kind of problem sum is very difficult to do. Okay? So those 4 or 5 marks question with a lot of words are good questions. So let's do it now. So we do it step by step. John, Peter, Yenny, Amber shared the cost of a present equally. So do one sentence at a time. So I'm teaching you how to approach a problem sums with a lot of words. Okay. So this is how I will approach it. One sentence at a time. So the first sentence, equally. So we use a ratio to represent them. 1:1:1. So that's the best way to represent equally. Now, Peter did not bring enough money and only managed to pay half his share. So this is what they're supposed to do, right? This ratio shown here is what they're supposed to pay. But in actual fact, Peter only paid half his share. Right? And John and Yenny helped to pay the rest of Peter's share. Okay, so look here. So Peter's supposed to pay this, right? He only paid half of this. The other half is paid by John and Yenny. Okay? So let's do this. So Peter, I times 2 first because I know why I times 2, because I know Peter's share is going to be divided into 2 parts because he said Peter pay half his share. So times 2, so the later part, I can split this 2 into 1. Okay, so if I split this, so if it is 2, then Peter only need to pay 1, correct? But actually, he's supposed to pay 2. So these 2 represented these 2. This is what Peter have to pay. Everyone got this? This is the actual amount that Peter have to pay. This is the amount Peter actually paid. Okay? Now, what about John and Yenny? John and Yenny is John is 2, Yenny is 2. But there is 1/2 of Peter which is paid by John and Yenny. We here. John and Yenny have to pay the rest of Peter's share. So if you look at it this way, let me show you. So this is Peter's share, right? Peter's share is half of it, which is 1 unit. He pays that 1 unit. The other half, this half, is paid by Peter and Yenny, correct? So altogether, Peter and Yenny pay 2 units plus 2 units plus this 1 unit. Altogether 5 units. Correct? So Peter plus Yenny, so John plus Yenny is 5 units. Everybody understand what I'm talking about? Any question until here? Any question? If you need me to repeat, put in the chat, I'll repeat it. But I want you to understand why this is the actual ratio, actually what they are paying. Peter paid 1 unit, Amber paid 2 units, John and Yenny paid 5 units. This is what they're supposed to pay. John paid 2 units, Peter paid 2 units, Yenny paid 2 units, Amber paid 2 units. But in actual fact, Peter paid only half of what he's supposed to pay, which is 1 unit. Nothing happens to Amber. Amber still pay her 2 units. John and Yenny, instead of paying 2 plus 2, they have to add 1 more unit, which is Peter's share that he didn't pay. That's why it's 5 units. Any question? If not, I move on. Okay, now, let's look at this. Next statement. It says that John paid, the amount of money John paid to the amount of unit paid is 3:4. So let's record it down here, 3:4. And total, it is 7. Now, we have recorded everything, right? The next thing to do is to look for common base. So let's look for the common base. Between these two ratios, Peter is the common base, right? This is 2 and this 1. I have to change this to 2. Okay? I've changed this to 2, or I change it, or I need to make Peter in this ratio and Peter in this ratio the same. I need to make John and Yenny and this 7 the same. This John and Yenny. These 2 must be the same. Any more? Okay. Let's do this, huh? Oh, so no, this Peter and this, no, sorry, I correct myself. This 2 and this 1 is not supposed to be the same, because this Peter at first, this Peter in the end. They are not supposed to be the same. Okay? Amber is supposed to be the same, because Amber didn't change. Between these two ratios, John plus Yenny and John plus Yenny over here must be the same. Alright, so let's make these two the same first. Multiply by 7. Multiply by 5. This is what we get. Okay? So Amber is 14. Over here, Amber has to be the same, because Amber didn't change. Before, Amber is supposed to pay the same value as Amber in the end. So let's make this into 14. Now we have the common base done. Amber, John plus Yenny, and Amber. Peter is still half. 14 divided by 2, 7. So we have the common base all done. Any question? If you need me to repeat, put in the chat. Nobody will know. Only I can see. Okay, back. So, you see here, the next day, Peter returned $24 to Yenny, meaning Yenny paid $24 for Peter, right? Now, this $24 is represented by the extra money that Yenny paid. So Yenny originally supposed to pay 14 units. But now, in the end, Yenny paid 20 units. See that? Yenny supposed to pay 14, but in the end, Yenny paid 20. So there's a difference of 6 units. That 6 units is the amount Yenny paid on behalf of Peter. And that is why Peter returned $24 to Yenny. So 6 units is 24, 1 unit is 4. Now, every time when you get 1 unit, you read the question again. How much did present cost? The present is cost all this. Okay? 14, 14, 14, 14. You must remember the total value of the present didn't change. It stays the same. Right? It's just that the way it has been paid between the 4 children is different before and after. But the total value of the present stays the same. So we can use this. 14 times 4. That's the value of the present, 56 unit. And 1 unit is $4. So that's the answer. 224. Any question?